I'd like to introduce Dr. Malte Hozzel, who is the founder of IAVC Oshada Essential Oil Company, IAVC Tunisia, and founder of Orto de Provenço, aromatherapy training center, High Provence in France. Aromatherapy has become a popular way of using the therapeutic effects of healing plants through a very simple, non-invasive means of application. And over 5,000 research studies on essential oils confirm that this interest in aromatherapy today is a serious and efficient therapeutic option. And the link of Ayurveda with aromatherapy adds an interesting new perspective and area of therapeutics to convey more understanding and application of the use of essential oils. So we welcome Dr. Hozzel to talk to us about aromatherapy.
Dear participants of the Congress, international guests, great honor to speak to you today. It is not that I want to give you a lot of curves and figures today. I want, in the very short time I have, just lead you through some impressions, some pictures, some fragrances, some glimpses of knowledge about what aromatherapy can be. Okay? So before I start my little PowerPoint, yes, they were there before us. The plants, of course, I always say in my lectures, they are actually our ancestors. Genetically, maybe something is there because they were here on planet Earth hundreds of millions of years before us. So it is just a welcoming to Mother Nature and also, of course, a lot of things. I will give you a little anecdote with this oil here. I also give it around. It is black spruce. Picea mariana from Canada. In the end of 1990s, I come from a Vedic chanting course. It was from a professor in Paris who organized Vedic chanting courses in different places of the world. And there was one lady, she came with a pneumonia to that course. It was horrible. Several people got really very sick, my wife also. I gave a lot of aroma massage whenever it was possible. I had 3 sleepless nights, and then I got it myself. And for me, the course was finished. I couldn't just do the course. I was mostly in bed and trying to recover. And then coming back to Provence, I had to give a course, international course, usually for 1 or 2 weeks. This was 1 week, but I couldn't give it. There was a Swiss doctor, Dr. Tox, I still remember his name, and I was just crawling, so to say, on the ground, and he said, "Malte, you look horrible." And he took my pulse. He knew about pulse reading, Ayurveda, and also Chinese pulse reading. And he said, "Your kidneys are down, and your bronchs, of course, and your spleen." And I said, "Can you tell more about this?" And then he said, "Do you have conifer oils?" This is the one I just go around. I said, "Of course, I had already, but I didn't have so many with me. But here at my seminar center, I have everything." He said, "So you take a lot." I said, "How much you think?" He said, "Oh, you take 150 drops, 200 drops a day." And then he said something interesting, and you can maybe try it even if you want. You put a lot of drops in your palm and you rub them on the kidneys, on both sides. And since that time, I understand that conifer oils are incredible energizers on the adrenal glands, of course. They create an adrenal response immediately, and they raise our energy, immune system also. And I was fit in 2 days, and I could give my course. I couldn't believe it. And now, of course, studying over all these years and giving lectures everywhere in the world, I have a lot of experience with these oils, and conifer oils are really it. It's amazing. And there is a huge amount of conifer oils in the world. Most of the producing countries are, of course, the northern countries. That means Norway, for example, and Canada. A little bit Austria and northern part of Italy, but most of that. And they are really miracle drugs. The deep interconnectedness of plants with the cosmos and their omnipresent, nourishing, and caring attitude towards all living beings makes it, in fact, very easy to fall in love with their essence and develop an unending admiration for the unfathomable intelligence present in them and through them with the creative spirit behind all things. Did you try already the power of conifer oils? That's the one which is going around. They are the oldest aromatic messengers of Earth. They prepare the way, and they are 200 million years old. Here they are. Cortisone-like, antiseptic, antibacterial, respiratory helpers. Yes, I must say, I'm in love with plants, and I'm convinced that man and plant are created for one another. They are woven into the great cycle of evolution on the basis of infinite joy and happiness. He took the same color. Here we have a rose distillery in Bulgaria. We as human beings are ourselves rooted in plant life, or as the founder of anthroposophy, Rudolf Steiner, once put it, man is a plant turned upside down. And here you see, the root is up there. And here you see more of it, because from there we can deduct essential oils effect. And you would see that many of the root oils are actually meant for the sensory and nervous system. And most of the conifer leaf oils, all the leaf oils actually, are meant for the rhythmic system, especially breathing, of course. And then most of the seed oils, flower oils, are meant for metabolic and procreative system. Rig Veda says in 10th mandala, the root of this tree grows in heaven. Yes, the tree of human existence, our own inner root, grows in heaven. And it is from there that the infinite beauty and union of plant and man are administered forever. Here you have distillation of champaka in India. Wonderful pitta dosha pacifier. By the way, all the floral notes of essential oils of aromatherapy are, of course, incredibly powerful for pitta dosha. Aromatherapy has made a strong contribution over these last decades for a better understanding of the power of medicinal plants and their healing virtues. There is this marvelous depth in essential oils, linking them to oldest folk medicinal knowledge, and at the same time offering the most rigorous scientific comprehension of their uncountable effects and their most surprising positive side effects also. In fact, aromatherapy is ancient and even secret in a way, but also modern and direct. As we have heard, over 5,000 independent research studies on essential oils have contributed to a great extent to place aromatherapy on a level of a serious science in the domain of alternative medicine. We should not forget, aromatic molecules are high-grade carriers of the healing information of plant life. They are living molecules, as I once had the opportunity to mention to Maharshi, which made him pause for a moment before returning. This is a very Vedic expression. I think Bevanji, he remembers that, Prime Minister. You were certainly connected. I had told him before that we were showering our oils in the storing hall of our company with Gandharva Veda music every night and all over the weekend. And here you see an aromatic gland and glandular hairs of a jasmine flower, living molecules in that aromatic gland. Did you know that by simply smelling jasmine oil, you can help a person to get within seconds out of a traumatic shock experience? Rosie, you should tell that story. I was teaching an aromatherapy course in Peru with Rosie a few years ago, 2 weeks. In the end of that course, last day, a lady, elderly lady, she went from the lecture hall down to the dining area, a few steps, stone steps. A huge scream, we just rushed down, and she was lying there and just cramped in pain. And we had 2 doctor ladies from Colombia with us, and they just immediately touched the leg down there, and they said, oh, she has 3 bones broken. So next, you remember? Excuse me. I said, jasmine, jasmine oil. So somebody, I think it was you rushed up to the lecture hall, picked up a jasmine bottle, and I held the jasmine bottle under her nose, just that. And instead of screaming and weeping, she started to smile, and the doctors couldn't believe it. She's smiling. He's laughing. The next was that we used some Immortella, helichrysum oil. I will just mention that after also. And that takes the pain away. So we put right away pure helichrysum or Immortella oil on her ankles. And it was immediately, in a few minutes, she was nearly pain-free. So these are miracles, and we have hundreds of stories, of course, to tell about the incredible, surprising, astonishing, miraculous effects of essential oils in direct, also, let's say, urgency medicine. Some essential oils like Rosa, for example, Rosa damascena or Provence lavender, contain more than 500 different biochemical compounds, each of them a miracle in itself of specific healing impulses for our body, mind, and soul. And still, we have to say, most of nature's biomolecules have not been analyzed yet and are far from being understood in terms of their multiple healing effects and synergistic effects also. The French scientist René Gattefossé, whom you see here on the photo, who is considered to be the founder of modern aromatherapy, proved that volatile aromatic substances take over the role of antitoxic agents, that is, of antiviral, antibacterial, and antifungal principles in plants, and through them in man. According to Gattefossé, they can also be compared to hormones or vitamins. Interesting also the quote below. Today, like in old times, we can call volatile substances vital substances. Volatility and fragrances are signals of considerable physiological activity and energy. Just to remind you here, I quickly go through it. Plants absorb sunlight, moonlight, starlight, so they are actually messengers of cosmic, interstellar energies and vibrations. We are light expressed in physical matter because we are the same, and we absorb these plants daily, of course, through food and everything. But especially in essential oils, the plant expresses, so to say, its best of that having absorbed cosmic light. We can also say essential oils express the ojas of the plant in a very direct and natural way. Farmers in Provence don't distill if it has rained. Lavender will not be distilled because the plant has eaten up its own ojas in terms of essential oils. So they wait for at least a week after 2 days rain before they distill, because otherwise the yield is too low. Okay? No, the sense being directly linked to the limbic system, we know this, and this is why aromatherapy is, of course, first olfactotherapy, where smelling, we already getting healed to some level. Yeah? Now, this is just a few remarks on healing effects. Ginger, rosemary, juniper, and lavender successfully used against osteoporosis, arthritis, broken bones. Thyme against Ebert bacteria, also against Staphylococcus and so on. You see that sandalwood has been shown to be capable to inhibit certain types of cancer. Here I have an aromatic cell. Yeah, well, here's different clinical research, which I wanted to present, but time is not allowing it so much here. Rosemary is memory increasing. Now, scientific research has shown that, for example, in classes where where rosemary oil is diffused, the pupils in the classes were performing 35% better in terms of memory. Quite surprising. I mean, that made me think of my studies when I studied Shakespeare long, long ago. Ophelia says to Hamlet, rosemary is good for memory. It's an old thing. It's old, of course, folk medicinal knowledge, and it's compactified, of course, today in the modern approach of aromatherapy, all that. Yeah, let me just quickly go to something else. These are, here I wanted to show you the vibrations, the frequency of essential oils. Rosa damascena has a proven frequency of 320 megahertz. That is about 4 times higher than the average human body. It's a research done by Bruce Tainio with some special equipment, which is, you can find that on internet. And here, average body organ frequency and so on. Anyway. So this is an Aroma Congress in Brazil with through my friend Jan Oberländer. 5,000 people are connected for 1 week in Brazil with 50 speakers. It's a web conference. Beautiful. I wanted just to show you now 11 rescue oils for your travel kit. Helichrysum from Corsica, miraculous against bruises. Rock rose from Morocco, rapidly stop bleeding of an open wound. All experienced myself and with many, many people, of course, in the world. Savory from Provence to save one against a flu attack. Black spruce, we have seen, quickly kick up an adrenal response. Peppermint from India against a headache due to jet lag. Cinnamon bark oil from Sri Lanka to get rid of a travel diarrhea. Ravinsara from Madagascar to help stop coughing. Palo Santo from Ecuador to clean negative atmospheres. Old shamanic thing very much. Jadamansi, all our Indian friends know it. From the Himalayas to help against insomnia, stress overload, heart palpitations. Bay laurel from Turkey to keep us awake on the highway. Wintergreen from Nepal to take away muscle pain, and so on. And that's last not least, this is, I won't have time for that. The French farmers 2 years ago in Provence, near our place, you could see dozens of these shields everywhere. Because now, as I say here, medicinal plants and their oils have been exposed in recent years to increasing regulations from governmental institutions. It's a REACH regulation. And now farmers have to declare essential oils as chemical products. They fall into the same category as any allopathic synthetic medicine. Well, that's what it is. I hope it gets better and project. Thank you.
Oils we travel home with in our home kit.
Okay.
Which 3 herbs?
Which 3 herbs are the best for travel kit, you mean?
For our travel kit.
Yeah, I mean, it means if you go diving or mountain climbing, you need probably a lot of rock rose, you know, because you may get...
Well, how about an airplane? Just going on an airplane.
A jet lag oil, I think it's always good to have an oil where you get tranquil. You know, the vata disturbance get away. And that is spikenard, Jadamansi. Jadamansi is the king of these. And I think all Indians here would agree. Girish, you agree? Jadamansi is just a miracle. It's fabulous. It's fantastic. And it brings down hypertension also. Very quickly. Thank you. 1 more minute to present Veda Aroma. Of course, Veda Aroma is a beautiful line which was created by Maharshi with us, I said it already, and is administered today by Mother Divine. Very nice, beautiful line. We are actually producing many of their products in our company in Tunisia. And actually they're same sources as our own producers. We are getting oils directly, most of the oils directly from over 50 countries from producers. And a little anecdote, when I was having the blessing of Maharshi over this 1.5 years, and I was really going into details with all these things, and the first thing he said, so you give all your producers, yeah? All the producers you send to the secretary. I said, Devin, you will remind that. And I said, of course, Maharshi. So we have Veda Aroma, the same producers, actually, as our own line, Oshadi. And Oshadi and Veda Aroma belong together, so that you know. Oshadi is actually a movement company. We are, of course, teachers of TM governors. We are a team of governors in Germany and in other countries. But we are working full speed, full time for the movement, for sponsoring movement projects everywhere. Thank you. Jai Gurudev.
Your knowledge of Veda Aroma is both personal and scientific. Dr. Hozzel, we appreciate it very much.
Hello? Yes. I just want to say that I was introduced to aromatherapy about 1.5 weeks ago. One of my patients who suffers from cyclic vomiting, very debilitating condition for her, came in and said she visited an aromatherapist who gave her some drops on a spoon in the middle of an attack. And she said within 30 seconds it stopped, and she was 5 days then without any vomiting, taking twice a day. I was very impressed.